Hey everybody, this is Kenny E, Black Iron Tri. This week's video, we cover last week's training, 9 weeks out from IRONMAN California, where we set new benchmarks on fitness tests in swimming, biking, and running, as well as doing some maintenance training for keeping us in decent shape as we get ready to head into our peak block. All right, let's get to it. Hey everybody, this is Kenny, Black Iron Tri. Just wrapped up a so-called recovery swim. First day of recovery week after finishing off the third week of a big block yesterday with a big run. Now we get to take it a little easier this week, but we do have 3 benchmark tests, run, bike, and swim. So anyway, gonna sign off for now, but it was a good swim. Got in about 2,500 yards, somewhere in there, 2,400 yards. Now I'm gonna go put my feet up until tomorrow's first benchmark test, run test. 30 minutes as hard as I can. All right, we'll check you out then. Till then, remember, you don't have to be fastest, just be fearless. Hey everybody, this is Kenny E, Black Iron Tri, and we are on a recovery week, but have a fitness test today. So the first fitness test we have this week is a run test. I'll be doing this according to the plan, which is a 5-minute jog warm-up, and then 4 minutes of increasing and decreasing speed, just kind of ramp ups, 30 on, 30 off, and then we get into it. The test is 30 minutes, and you try to get what you think you can run, the hardest you can run for 30 minutes. I've done this test a few times, so I have kind of a benchmark of where I think I can be. And by the time you take the test the second or third time, you can pretty much use what you had, whatever your run was the last time, as your benchmark. That's what you should shoot for, or maybe a little bit higher if you've been training consistently. So we're gonna give it a shot here. One of the tips and tricks that we'll cover one of these Fearless Fridays is your run cadence. One of the things that people may overlook is that a quicker cadence tends to help with efficiency. And I kind of pushed away from that initially. I'm figuring I'm a bigger guy. My cadence should be slower. Not necessarily. They say ideally you should be in a 180 steps per minute range. And of course, any kind of, whether it's a heart rate monitor or some of the more advanced heart rate monitors or a foot pod, you can get your cadence data from that. I use a foot pod called a Stride, and I get that data fed to me real time. And you can run a certain cadence at any speed. And that's one of the interesting things about it. You just vary how far you step each time. Anyway, we're gonna get into it here. The reason I bring that up is that I use music in the background, an Amazon playlist that actually goes at 100, I use 170 beats per minute, and just try to keep time. And that way I get a good cadence. You can use a metronome. I don't play the music on these videos because I don't know if it's copyrighted, and I haven't figured out all the YouTube copyright rules yet. So the music I use on the channel is duty free, or I've already paid a service to get that music. So, but this music that I play when I listen, you see the speaker in the background, that's music helping me to get through my workout. So without further ado, before I wear myself out talking and walking, I'm gonna go ahead and get this on, all right? Stay strong, and be fearless.
Here, if you look at the bottom of the screen, you can see places where I walked before starting my full run again. Those blue spaces represent 30-second periods where I walked. I did a speed walk instead of running, and then took back up my full speed for 1.5 minutes at a time. This is a common tactic used in long distance running that helps reduce the overall fatigue on the legs and still allows the runner to record a good time.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for today's fitness test. Whew, it was a tough one. At the back end, I did some intermittent running, but we got it all in, and I will post the stats up here if I haven't already as to what happened to my pace, the pace I've been training at versus where I am now. I think my pace might actually dropped. I don't think I had it all in me today, but feel good about the run. A solid workout there. Anyway, I'm gonna go start the recovery process. One of the most important parts of Ironman. In the meantime, that'll do it for Tuesday, August 19th, 2025. We'll see you next time. Remember, if you like seeing me suffer, you like what you see here, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and I'll get back with you soon. All right, thanks for watching. See you next time. Hey everybody, Kenny E with Black Iron Tri, and today we are doing our fitness test for cycling, also known as an FTP test or functional threshold power. This test is to set a benchmark for doing the rest of your testing throughout your training plan. We'll get into more details later in the video, but for now, let's get cracking. So the first part of the test is just a 10-minute really light warm-up, real low in terms of power. Usually the programs are smart enough to know your last FTP or whatever your FTP was set for, and that's where they'll set your low warm-up level. There's several different types of FTP tests. This one's called a ramp test. In the ramp test, you start at a low power, and the trainer and program gradually increases every minute until you can't go anymore. It uses that number to estimate your FTP. Other tests include things like a 20-minute all-out test after a 10 or 15-minute warm-up. That one's a little tougher because you need to estimate what you can do for 20 minutes. Most people say that the truest test of how much you can do in an hour is to do an hour test. But that is extremely hard in terms of trying to estimate where you can be. Either you go too hard and don't finish the hour, or you're not going hard enough, you finish the hour and say, I could have done more. Either way, you don't necessarily have an accurate estimate of your FTP. So this is really all about benchmarking and then doing your training based on that benchmark. It doesn't have to be precise. Very few races are determined by looking at what somebody's FTP was. It all depends on the conditions, depends on your level of training and fitness, depends on terrain. But FTP gives you somewhere to start. It gives you goals for your overall training plan. And that's really what's important. Okay folks, we're less than a minute before the test starts. I'm gonna get into focus mode here. Turn on some fans, turn on some music, and get this started. See you soon.
pushing. You got it. Keep pushing. You got it. 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 You can do it. You can do it. You can do it.
As you may have heard, my wife is in the background screaming at me during this entire test. I don't play all of it because there's music in the background that may be copyrighted, and I don't want that YouTube smoke about that. Anyway, she is cheering me on, and it does help to have somebody telling you to keep going. And there it is. My new FTP is calculated at 280 watts. That is a 5-watt jump from my last test back in June. So I'm very happy with that. This is Kenny getting ready to go in for a final fitness test for this week. This is a swim fitness test. Consists of a warm-up, 400 yards as hard as you can, 5-minute active recovery, so real slow, and then a 200 yards as fast as you can. And then you'll set a threshold pace by which the rest of your training is set up. So let's go in here and get this knocked out. Still kind of recovering from yesterday's test, cycling test, but it is what it is. We're here. Let's go get it.
It won't go away. I've got that feeling rushing through my body. I know that it is here to stay. It's like you're my personal Illuminati. I know that some might say that I am just a bad girl, but if you treat me right, I will be the best girl in this whole world. No, I'm not gonna fight. I got my hands on your body, so tell me what you want me to do. I can be good or be naughty, because there ain't nobody love you like I do, like I do, like I do.
I was only able to record parts of my warm-up because someone else showed up at the pool. It is poor etiquette to record people in the pool without their permission.
Hey everybody, Kenny E here in Black Iron Tri. Just finished up fitness test for swimming. I think it went pretty well. We'll check into the numbers when I get home. In the meantime, I've got to get back, and we've got a strength training session still today. I'm going to knock that out as soon as I get back to the house, so there's no chance of missing it. All right, we'll get with you in the gym. Hey everybody, Kenny E, finishing off a short run this morning. Running around one of my favorite courses around the G-Tech campus. Let me show you why. You have these markers around the campus that equals pi. So just about 3.14 miles, right around a 5K. Doesn't get any simpler than that. All right, I'm gonna finish up. It's Kenny E signing off from Black Iron Try. Be fearless. All right, we got it in. Nice little recovery week run around the Georgia Tech campus. Let's take a look at the stats. Looks like 4.5 miles, 50 minutes. That was the time, 11:03 pace. So the target for today on recovery week was just a zone 1, zone 2, easy jog for 50 minutes. And be honest about it, the jogs in the past, even the easy ones, were never that easy. But today felt really good. It probably helped that it was cloudy and it even misted a little bit, rained a little bit. And that feels good to a runner. That cooler air and the cool water. It was a good run. Felt really good. So happy with that. We got one more recovery day. Got an 1.5-hour ride tomorrow. We'll probably just do that on the trainer. And then we hit peak training, which is very race specific. Gets back to being hard. Maybe not as exactly hard as the build blocks were, but certainly hard enough. Harder than recovery week, that's for sure. We also got in 3 tests this week. That was great. So so far so good on recovery week. One more day. Let's finish it up. Hey everybody, Kenny here. Getting ready to knock out the last workout for this recovery week. And then next week we'll get up in training and intensity again as we enter the peak blocks prior to the race. Today I'm using a different app than I normally use. I normally use Training Peaks Virtual on the indoors. Today I'm going to use an app called Ruby. Ruby is known for its realistic simulations of actual routes. So it carries some of the IRONMAN and IRONMAN 70.3 routes and other famous routes throughout the world. The idea is you're looking at the actual route, rendered, and the elevation changes. If you're not using your ERG, your elevation changes adjust the resistance on the bike. So when there are hills, and for some reason these apps love hills, your bike gets harder to pedal, and then super easy if you're going downhill, that kind of thing. So it's a neat app, and I enjoy using it. It's not the cheapest app in the world, but they do offer a lot of options in terms of if you have a membership and you want to pause it, you can then do a day pass, which I'm doing today. It's like $4. So it's good for 24 hours. You can ride as much as you want on any of their routes. Lastly, I am wearing my Chicago triathlon jersey in honor of my friends and fellow athletes who are racing today up in Chicago, in the Chicago Triathlon. It's actually a 2-day event. But today is the Olympic, which is the race I've done in the past, as well as the sprint. And the Chicago Triathlon is super interesting because they do a super sprint on Saturday, and then a sprint and an Ole on Sunday. And you can opt in to do a triple challenge and do all three if you want. They also have a couple kids races early on Saturday, kid triathlons, as well as a pro level super tri. And so it's quite the event. The Chicago Triathlon is quite the event. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started and get this hour and a half in and bid farewell to our last recovery week before the race. Hey everybody, Kenny E, Black Iron Tri, and we're going to get a bonus workout in the recovery week here. We're going to get some open water swimming in today out here at beautiful Red Top Mountain and Allatoona Lake in Georgia. This is just to get a feel for the water this week, just to get out into some open water. It's absolutely, I think, imperative if you're going to do a race in open water that you have some open water experience prior to the race. I, of course, have done a bunch of races, so it's not brand new to me, but the race should not be the first time in a season that you get into some open water. If you have any opportunity, you should get out to some open water, get some strokes in the water, get a feel for not having somewhere to stand necessarily, not having a wall there. And as always, safety first. Make sure you have some come with you. She's camera shy today. I don't know why, but anyway, we're gonna get this on. All right, a little short swim, just a few minutes here, about half an hour, and then in later weeks we'll do a little longer swims as we get closer to race day. We are 8 weeks out today. This is Kenny E signing off for now. Let's get it in.
It won't go away. I've got that feeling rushing through my body. I know that it is here to stay. It's like you're my personal Illuminati. I know that some might say that I am just a bad girl.
Just like on the road, you gotta share the water with others. So you gotta watch out. So I see the orange buoy maneuvering to stay out of the way of the canoers, so he doesn't get hit with the paddle. So he diverted. He just went straight.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching this week's video. Really appreciate your attention. If you like what you saw, please feel free to subscribe to the channel or like the video. It does help me to continue to bring content your way. Next week, we'll be looking at the first peak week of training, just 8 weeks out from IRONMAN California. Tons of fun. In the meantime, remember, you do not have to be the fastest. Just be fearless. We'll see you next time. Take care.